Alright. So, we are going to be watching Smogon Masters Semifinals today. Comp versus Giannis Atentakomo. Okay. Oh, I have FJ's thing open still, but that's okay. I gotta quickly pull up my chatting. I didn't know Munneth had a face. Yeah, I do have a face. I'm trying to do more face cam streams now. Obviously, as you can tell, my setup is not optimal for it, but it's like good enough that I think it's fine. Hopefully these games start soon. That would be pretty optimal. So basically, to give some background on the two people playing today, we've got Comp, who is a player that has been playing competitively quite a bit the last couple of years after taking quite a long break. He is very accomplished in Sun Moon OU and or SOU, doing really well in Gen 6 Invitational, as well as Sun Moon OU and SPL. On the other hand, you have Giannis Atentakomo. He has two trophies. He's won the Smogon Grand Slam, as well as the. Sorry, I'm just moving this here. Okay. Who has won Smogon Grand Slam as a player, as well as Smogon Champions League as a manager. Comp to this point has not won any Smogon team tournaments, but it's possible that that can change here. And the game should be starting any moment now, but both of them have had pretty impressive runs in this tournament to this point. Comp, I would say has been playing a little bit better, but it's really hard. We're like kind of like splitting hairs at this point. They've both had great runs to top four, and nothing to scoff at from either end. I would say that the majority of people are. I believe the majority of people are predicting Comp to win this series, but not by a super wide margin. I would say that Giannis has the advantage in Gen 8 OU, whereas Comp has the advantage in Gen 6 and 7. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I don't really think there's anything to watch on Small Tours right now. Yeah, you'll be watching some real players. All good though. You gotta just have like a draft league that people who are good at the game want to join. Really, I suppose I should have. It's interesting. Getting like something I want to try working on is like getting things to like fill space with while I'm waiting for something to start. It's obviously a little difficult when you're not exactly running on your own schedule, like waiting for this to start. But just some like general trends, I suppose, in this tournament so far. I would say that in Gen 8 OU, it feels like the metagame is really starting to like coalesce a bit more. There's a much higher usage of sand, like Tyranitar sand in particular, than like even like a couple of years ago. Sand was like very uncommon, and now like if you're not prepping for sand, you're literally throwing in SS. Um, Gen 6, there's a lot of that like Ruffles archetype of offense going on. um, which is a bit more like off the wall compared to like the typical like screens, Superior, Volcarona, Manaphy, etc. It's a bit more. I don't want to say like off the wall because I feel like that's like an inaccurate way to describe it, but it's a bit more. Hmm. I'd say it's like a bit more unique in terms of like the ways that you can deploy it. Like the Cresselia, the Cresselia innovation is obviously like before Ruffles really started becoming like a common player, a top player. But I do feel like he's like kind of like like those sand hyper offenses with like T-Tar, Excadrill, but also like I said hyper offense. So you've still got like your Manaphy, your like offensive breakers. Those teams are nice because they've basically got two modes. They've got like sweeper mode with like Manaphy and shit, and then like half you because like the Sandmons just have a decent amount of utility. Like even though DD-Tar doesn't have any bulk investment, it's just so fat naturally that it can like offensively check things, trade with them, etc. Excadrill is that speed control. You see like a lot less of like the straight suicide Landorus, like the like focus sash, rocks, explosion, sometimes imprison. Like you see a lot less of that and more of these like pseudo utility sets. Like one, yo, 5-stream watch streak for MBF. Appreciate you, bro. 6 streams soon, bro. But like an example is that Landorus spread where you go like 64 attack EVs, adamant, like some speed, bulk, so that you can like toggle in between the rolls, where you can boom on Clef when it's at like 60% or something, and you have to. Only 3 fucking hate the Brits. Facts. Where you get into it's like really good at pressuring things like Clefable, right? Like where you can just boom it when it's at 60 to take away a threat for your team, but it still has like that pivoting potential with U-turn and its natural bulk, and it's not necessarily like a lead where it's going to be exploding in like the first 3 turns, And it's especially important because like historically, right, hyper offense has always struggled with things like Mega Lopunny, Mega Metagross, etc. And especially recently, Mega Metagross is like really taken off in Gen 6 OU. So little innovations like the Helmet Boom Landers have come up to address that. All right. And then and like I said, the sand trend in Gen 8 OU is very big. Obviously there's like the classic Fairthorn in particular as like a glue for these offenses has become a lot more common. Like the sand team, the classic like Fairthorn, Rotom, T-Tar, Drill, Clef, like that kind of structure is like really strong right now. You'll see Lele on it sometimes. You'll see Torn sometimes. Like it's pretty flexible, but generally Pharaoh, T-Tar, Drill, Clef is like pretty solidly the base. Even Clef can be swapped out sometimes, but I don't like dropping it personally. Depending on what you're trying to target, right? If you're facing someone that's going to use like a bit more like grass spam or whatever, like a Tornadus might make more sense. Whereas like if you feel like you want the like speed of Scarf Lele, like maybe they might use Hail a little bit, right? Scarf Timid Lele is going to outspeed Arctos Zolt and Hail. So like, you know, little things like that. A lot of nuance to how you can tweak that team. There's only so much metagame bullshit I can spout before the series starts, though. Oh, perfect. Game started. Alright, Gen8OU. Alright, Comp is using like Nidoking bulky. This is like a really interesting team because it's got a lot of Pokemon that are individually pretty common but not typically paired together. Like Torn and Zapdos are like your like grass check, you know, flying types, defog, whatever, what have you. That are usually it's one or the other, because you know they stack weaknesses, that kind of thing. And then you've also got Clefable and Slowbro, where like Magic Guard and Regenerator are kind of like your like pivots to like absorb annoying moves that the rest of the team doesn't want to take. Like Slowbro can like come into knockoff and not really care about losing its item like boots as much because of Regenerator, and you can like teleport out and such. You know, Clefable, it's got Magic Guard, so same thing, like it absorbs knockoff, it doesn't really take a lot of residual from like hazards and stuff, so the item isn't as necessary. So it's interesting like seeing those two like pairs of Pokemon comboed together when they're not necessarily there. I personally am a big Nidoking hater. I think it's really prediction reliant, and it's not just like a, oh, you have to predict, like get one predict right and it's game. If you like Ice Beam a Lando, sure. But generally speaking, you need to chain together multiple, especially stuff like Torn, where it can pivot in, take a hit, knock off your Life Orb to reduce your power, get out of there, really generally mess with you. Like Nidoking is useless. You got Spadef Hippo probably, you got your Slowbro, your Torn, tons of pivoting. But that being said, it also does feel pretty hard for Giannis to break here. He has Scizor, which gets like blanked by Zapdos, and there's a Heatran there as well. I will say Heatran is to worry about like superpower and Sand Tomb and stuff, whereas Zapdos is more of like your traditional like hard check. Let me take a drink of water real quick. I should have filled this up more. And like Tornadus can potentially be annoying if you can keep hazards up, which if it's Toxic Hippo, I can see you getting into positions where like the hazards actually stay up decently. I imagine it's like Rocks Hippo. This is another interesting build from Giannis, where you got Hippo, Landorus, Torn, right? So obviously Hippowdon runs Stealth Rocks like 90% of the time, but this is one of those builds where you could actually drop it, because Hippowdon is a little bit of like sneaky 4 move slot syndrome. Like, you like Toxic for obvious reasons, like it's like one of the best ways to cripple flying types not named Corviknight, and Scarmite, I suppose. But you also really like Whirlwind for like phasing like setup guys, as well as just generally being able to like shuffle around the enemy team and give yourself like chances to double kind of unpunished to get some offensive momentum. And then even like more niche options like Rock Slide for Volcarona, Heavy Slam for Clef are like there too. So I definitely don't hate like trying to give your Hippowdon all of its move slots to be more annoying to offense. Obviously with Slowbro and Clef, the Hippo isn't that much of an irritant here, but you know, obviously you can't know like super clearly what your opponent's going to use. And then like on the other hand, something we saw in an earlier series, Zinnia has used Rock's Ferrothorn with Swords Dance Landorus, so it could also be Rock's Hippo to free up like a more offensive Landorus. Torn T obviously you could run Defog Lando and then have like an offensive Torn T, either like Taunt 3 attacks, Taunt Toxic, Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot Weather Ball is something to watch out with the Hippowdon, because it turns into a Rock type move which absolutely destroys Zapdos. And like Rock is a disgusting offensive typing against this team. We do see Hippowdon lead off against Slowbro. Because of the landers in the back, you can kind of afford to take like a Scald Burn here as you like trade for Toxic on Slowbro. Also, don't hate just going Clef because it is there. You just gotta be wary about giving up like too much momentum to the Slowbro, because if it like Future Sights on the Clef, teleports into Nidoking, it gets a little bit more annoying to deal with the team because it just has kind of a free Sludge. Or Flamethrower if it has it, really. Clef comes in on Toxic, yeah, makes sense. I assume we're going to see Rocks come up from the Hippowdon here. You don't really lead Hippowdon in this matchup if it's not Rocks, in my opinion. Yeah, Rocks go up. Alright. So it's maybe an offensive Landorus, maybe Defog to enable a Torn. When Bless comes out, he's just going to Slack. Or Earthquake. Okay, just to get some EV spread information. You know that the Clefable is not... So, one thing I want to say. The Clefable is not leftovers here. So that means you gotta watch out for Sticky Barb. And you gotta watch out for Life Orb. Based off of the Moonblast damage on Hippowdon, I'd say it's probably like a Fizdef Hippowdon. No, not Fizdef, sorry. I'd say it's probably Spadef Hippowdon against Sticky Barb Clef. So then we're gonna, get the soft boiled up. Hippo's basically at full, so you can pivot into your Slowbro here. Start popping off with Future Sight. One thing to note is that correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe a Moonblast drop on Slowbro can reduce the Future Sight damage. So, Future Sighting and hard switching is like not a bad play, but I do forget exactly how Future Sight interacts with special attack drops. I know for sure if you get dropped on the turn you click Future Sight, it affects the sight. I just don't know about the teleport turn. Comp is already relatively low on timer at 90 seconds, so that's something to monitor. This Clef is knockoff, which typically means it's very, very unlikely to be Trick. Yeah, the Slowbro does go for Sight. Obviously, Hippowdon won't be doing much with the Sight in the air. Like, ooh, the Toxic from Zapdos is huge for Comp. Makes a lot of sense why I didn't take that Slowbro trade at the start. It feels like he's already in, like, a decent position here. Back to business. Alright, what happened while I was gone? Alright, Lando doubled in on the Future Sight as Slowbro came out. Giannis wants to Sight again. This is going to be an interesting point. The opposing Slowbro went first, but this Slowbro took Sandstorm first. This is a speed tie. So whoever loses the teleport tie is probably pretty happy. If I'm Comp, right? I mean, like, you're both clicking teleport here, obviously. If I'm Comp and my teleport's going first... I mean, it depends on your sets a little bit. But I think I'd go Zapdos most of the time. Ooh, Scalds. Interesting. I'm surprised we didn't see any teleports come out there. Especially from Comp. Like, Zap coming in on Scald would have been very powerful. I guess, like, the burn is, like, more incremental progress, which makes some sense. Okay. Both sight again. Giannis has a lot more incentive to stay in here with the Scald because burning Comp Slowbro is more effective. And now Comp gets a free Cane off with Torn, pretty much. Slowbro probably can't stay in because if Torn has a decent amount of special attack investment, like, you're not really going to be healing it off comfortably. Like, you can slack here, but it's not, like, it doesn't feel great. The crit on Torn is mildly annoying, but it's not a big deal. You just regen that off. Yeah, the timer disparity is very big. Comp always uses a lot of timer in his games. I feel like he gets down to 10 seconds like almost every game he plays. You gotta be afraid of a Scald coming out here. But you also don't want to go Clef on a future sight. So at this point you kinda have to let your Slowbro take a burn. Using the threat of future sight for a safe defog is really nice though. That was a clean play. And now he get TPs to get his regen back. Torn is at full now. Gets the knockoff to get rid of the boots for when he gets his own rocks up. No burn on the Scald. Giannis is getting pretty unlucky with these Scalds, I would say. He turns out into Heatran on what will likely be a slack off. Probably just trying to get his rocks up and trade that for the Scald chip. Giannis doesn't even partake in the trade that Comp is offering, wanting to immediately threaten the Heatran, because I assume this is an offensive Landorus, and if it's like Jolly, Swords Dance, Stone Edge, it's a huge threat. Oh, interesting. He's going Torn to try and knock. Makes sense too. Me personally, I mean, I'd say I'm like better friends with Giannis, so I'm rooting for him, but happy to see either person win here. Yeah, I mean, like, you could see a double come out from Giannis here, maybe into Hippowdon or something. Because if Torn gets static by Zapdos, it kind of blows. Interesting. Okay, you just let the Heatran get knocked. Misses the Magma, man. That's really unfortunate. That was more impactful than anything that happened with the Scald situation, because he would have killed the Torn there. Or Torn wouldn't have been able to defog. Either one is big. We may see a Toxic come out here, or Rocks up. Makes sense. Yeah, now that Rocks are up, and Torn is not knocked though, which is something important to consider. Teleport is probably coming out from Giannis because he doesn't want to let, like send in Torn on like a Magma, etc. And since this Heatran has already shown like Magma protect rocks, Taunt is really unlikely. Even though that Magma Storm miss happened, I will say Comp is still in a pretty decent position. It just sucks not having the Heatran recovering its HP anymore. He has to watch its HP because, like, if it gets chipped low, Scizor could start causing problems. We have no idea what the set is. It's probably Swords Dance knockoff on this kind of a bulky team. Zapdos in this time on the site. That's good. This is already shown Toxic. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Hurricane come out here just to get like general progress on the team. Volt Switch is also fine, obviously, but Kane covers the ground type switches more. Down to 5 seconds for Comp. Ooh, he discharges. You really don't see discharge that often on Zapdos and Sword and Shield OU. Most people opting for the momentum of Volt Switch. And on this team in particular, right, with like the Nidoqueen and the Future Sight, it feels like there's a lot of spots where Volt Switch could be potentially useful. Also something to consider where Comp's Torn has shown defog, so it could be dropping like the slot that's normally dedicated to Heat Wave for discharge. So he has both an electric type move when he's staying in and for Volt. Obviously the Future Sight hits this turn, so Comp is going to be mindful of that. So he's not... Wait, what? Did he forget about Future Sight? Oh, no. I think he forgot about Future Sight, man. Oh, my God. That's really unfortunate. That's tough. Some well-timed SPL price fixing. I mean, yeah, for real, dude. I mean, I will say Nidoking was not super useful in this matchup. Like, no, I don't know, dude. You're gonna lose to Clef without Nidoking, though. Ooh, interesting. Protect, so it's Wish Clef? Wish Tech, Aromatherapy, Moonblast, probably. Is this the gen where Clef can run Unaware Soft-Boiled? I don't remember. I think it can. Interesting. You almost never see Clef with Protect in this gen. That's cool. I mean, you get, like, extra leftovers in, like, a lot of matchups and stuff. Comp has to hit 2. I would probably go for Earthquake here, predicting the miss. Oh, man, yeah, that's gotta be game. Unlucky game for Magma Storms for Comp, but I do feel like he was kind of hamstrung a little bit. At this point in the game with Nidoking dead. He does have a... Giannis does have Aromatherapy on Clef, which considerably helps versus Toxic Zapdos. I don't know why this isn't giving it Hurricane. Wait, Discharge Toxic? Yeah, no, this can't have Volt Switch. No way. If it's Max Spadef and like 0 special attack Zapdos, this is a roll. Hippo goes down. Alright, Clef's in. Don't really think there's too much that Comp can do at this point. You're just gonna like discharge and try and get paras. Oh, it did take Sand, so it is unaware. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, Zapdos seems like it could be a threat, but it just feels like you're gonna run out of juice before it can really pop off. I can see how Wish could be beneficial for this team with the Landorus being able to receive them and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like it feels miscast a little bit. You obviously don't have enough aromatherapies to just like infinitely heal off these toxics either. This isn't over even, honestly. Like obviously Comp should be favored in this endgame. Yeah, knocking off the lefties hurts a lot, but it does feel like Giannis does have a little bit of a tough time like finishing the game, so to speak. 35 on Moonblast is kind of crazy. That's like no Spadef slow, bro. Nah, it's not 8 PP. Oh wait, Aroma? Yeah, it is. For some reason I thought you were talking about Wish. TP comes out. Future Sight is up. Zapdos comes in. Big threat. Yeah. I don't really know what Giannis is switching into here safely. This is a cool set. Discharge coming out. Yeah, that's dead. Okay, Torn's dead now. But to be fair, you can't set Stealth Rock back up because Heatran's dead. But it's just like a pivot lost. Giannis also has his rocker dead, so this is a no-hazard game. So we're going to finally see the Lander set here. Based off of the damage that the Hippowdon was taking from Moonblast, it was full Spadef, so I imagine it's probably not Spadef Lando. So I think we'll either see some like weird offensive set or something like maybe Scarf, maybe, but I think that's pretty unlikely. I could see it. This team is really slow. Dragapult's a threat, and you don't have anything to like revenge kill it. I could see this being Scarf Lando, but I imagine it's probably just like SD or something. Based off of team structure. Toxic comes out as Lando clicks SD, yup. And Comp does not have a Stone Edge switch in. So this shit is gonna claim. This was a threat from the start though. I think you just Kane, honestly, bro. Like, confusing with Hurricane is your best odds here. I mean, to be fair, I also think he should have caned on turn 43. This is always going to be pretty offensive, I think. Easy to say that in hindsight, but I did literally call the set. 5 seconds? Oh my god. Smackdown? Oh my... Bro, Giannis, what are you doing, bro? It's probably knockoff, though. This might kill. That does nothing. Good lord. Cleft to scout knock. Interesting. Bro, seeing this Smackdown come out was so anticlimactic. 20% to slow, bro. That shit was not max attack. I know it's max slow, bro, but damn, bro. Clefable's wishing, oh, to try and heal their own slow bro up, and then Comp goes Zapdos. Yeah, makes sense. You go Scizor, I guess, but that's like ass. Yeah, like a Smackdown damage lines up. Smackdown's just a terrible move. Yeah, I mean, this is just a brutal sequence. You're not really making progress. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this for a few more turns. Scissor's in on Kane. I don't know why you wouldn't do that on a Wish turn, though. Yeah, this is what I imagine Scizor would try doing at some point. Might as well SD here. It's like the same as if you Roost and then SD again. I know it's not literally the same, but like it might as well be. Based off of the damage these Canes are doing, you might need to Roost though. I don't know what the Scizor spread is. Oh, that shit is max, bro. Yeah, that shit is max. U-turn. Is that SD U-turn? Oh my god. It's either that or like U-turn knock bullet, which is like just as bad. You can just smack down here. And then like EQ kind of for free. I don't know, I'd rather just use Stone Edge and have the move that's stronger. Because you saw like the Slowbro switch, like the negative impact of having what he has. This is an interesting situation because Giannis can very reasonably click Earthquake on the switch to Slowbro or Knockoff or whatever. Yup. Helmet comes off. Earthquake kills Clef, but there's a lot of pivots that Comp can make. That makes SmackDown a pretty reasonable play. 5 seconds again. Moonblast comes out, predicting the over-prediction. Slowbro's probably going to slack TP or just TP. I can see both. Nice. Good play. Didn't give him momentum. You can Aroma again here. That was a really high roll on Hurricane. I think you just go for the roll and Wish. It can also miss. At this point, you're like kind of behind, so... I mean, I suppose it doesn't hurt to stall a PP. Like, your other options are what? Pivot Slowbro just to do like a... You just had to get the miss at this point. Like, I understand it sucks feeling like you got like such a high chance to like get hit and die, but I don't know. What up, Sickle? Stay getting owned. Come on. I'm trying to see a miss for Cinema, because if this hits, the game's just over. Yeah, Comp has been at 30 seconds the entire game. Alright, Scizor comes in on the Cane here, and you're in that same situation where you just gotta dodge a roll, basically. Yeah, I'm just caning here as Giannis, personally. I mean, as Comp, personally. Like, I feel like a lot of people run into an issue where they try too hard to, like, secure a game perfectly, air quotes, and end up like screwing themselves over because they like don't want to risk odds or whatever. But like, I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta take the odds when they come up. And like, you're gonna be running out of Cane soon. You have 7 left. Get your chip. Okay. Now this is actually the most threatening this Landorus has been this game. Because it's untoxic. Which changes the dynamic of how both sides pilot quite a bit. This is a free smackdown. Oh my goodness! That is a filthy confusion! Holy shit! So, that is big because the Landers didn't get toxic this time, so it was in such a more threatening position than it was before. Obviously, like, this can miss and shit. He hasn't escaped this yet. You just Earthquake here, yeah. Because you get lefties if he switches. That's the benefit of not being toxic in this scenario. Yeah. Back to Slowbro here on the Scald. And this is kind of like the vortex that you start getting into. Where, what do you call it? You start healing Landorus' HP and like getting these like future sights in the air because we know Zapdos is getting hit by future sight this turn, so Giannis is gonna smartly Scald to try and burn and getting progress here. Are we gonna see a TP here? Oh nope, a sight again. Okay. Could see Landorus come out here. Because then Lando would be in a very scary spot. This does take a discharge, I believe. Yeah. So you could theoretically teleport here. It's such a tense game, man. It's really still anyone's game, even though, like, there's just 2 Giga threats that both players have to worry about. With the accuracy of Hurricane, you know? Alright, Slowbro comes out, Scald comes out. No burn. Yeah, Giannis does want this burn on Slowbro decently badly, but also this could be an opportunity to heal the Clef. Oh, this is a smart way to do the sequence, yeah. Because this way you make Slowbro take the site. Now you TP. Because Comp doesn't want to send Zapdos into a Scald plus site. Yeah. And then you get your Clef back. Yeah. That was really well done by Giannis. This is part of why I like SS so much. There's so many of those like strategic like positioning plays that you can use with all the tools in the gen, like teleport, future sight, volt switch, flip turn, etc. Obviously, flip turn is a lot more common in Gen 9 than it is in other gens, but just a cool like little chess match going on here. We're obviously gonna see a Wish come out here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Comp toss out a Scald to try and burn, or a Sight for similar reasons. You can... This is a tough position, obviously. I imagine we'll see the Clef click Protect here. As as Future Sight hits. Yeah, that's about right. This is kind of sussy. Ooh, Toxic again, trying to predict the switch, or just to PP stall. I get it, you want to preserve these Hurricanes for later. Slowbro comes out on Protect. Yeah. Classic SS here. Giannis is one turn behind on the Future Sight sequence, which is like low-key a good thing. Try and get your burn here. Keep in mind, we saw from Sandstorm damage earlier in the battle that this is indeed a speed tie. There's the burn. That's a permanent burn, unlike the one that Comp got earlier, which is something that's very important. Zapdos comes in and takes the Future Sight. Roos comes out, as we do see a sight come out from Giannis. I imagine we'll probably just see a TP here for a few different reasons. This is the most renewable asset you have, I guess. If Slowbro gets Toxic, you do just have to be patient with the aromatherapy, because you do have 3 left and shit. I'd consider just Moonblasting here, because you're not really making progress doing this. It's the benefit of double regen, though. Landorus coming in makes sense as well. Scald kills your ass, but he knows that. And is just using it to bait a hit. Alright. See the moon go out. Slowbro has to switch now. What's Torn at? 100? Yeah. We're probably seeing a Torn here then. Clef could wish on Zap. Potential. Yeah, with Protect and Sight hitting same turn, like, you'll just heal back what you lose. You'll take a little bit less than you heal. So Clef will probably be at 80 something if it takes a hit. Yeah, 83. And Toxic, obviously. Slowbro Toxed? It is not. Comp should be winning this long term. But if Giannis can get enough leftovers rounds on that Lando before he loses the game, he could fuck him up. Kane comes out. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna see an Aroma probably. Yeah. Guy back. How many Roosts does Zapdos have? It's 12. It only has 2 Toxics, interestingly enough, on 2 aromatherapies. So you've actually gotten to the point where, oh, this is interesting. Slowbro is forced to Scald here. Oh, wow, he could have healed the Lando. That's insane. Also, I think my playlist stopped. Let me do another one. Moonblast comes out, slack off. As expected. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. The same sight sequences are coming out now. This is a big teleport. Obviously, Giannis has no incentive to stay in beyond the teleport turn, so he is going to TP for sure. Comp, I could see just trying to get a Scald Bird, because it's equally annoying on everything, and you want to try and bait out aromatherapies so that Zapdos can toxic the Clef. That's fine. You can go Lando here for lefties and then go to Clef on the future sight hit, or just go Clef and Wish. Both are fine. Clef is probably a little bit better. Or Slowbro on the future sight hit, sorry. Obviously you don't go Clef. But yeah, you just got like 6 more. Zapdos comes in here. Oh, Torn, okay. That makes some sense. He's got 26 teleports left, so should be using these. This is how you get your Lando back. We're probably going to see Torn's last move here if it's Kane. I don't know why you wouldn't click it in this situation. U-turn comes out. It's probably Heat Wave then. Makes sense. This team is not the best against Kartana. We see a sight come out. We're gonna see a TP. If Giannis goes second, he's healing up Lando again. If not, he's going... yeah. This is dangerous, though. You might need to go Clef this time, because what's different from last time is that this other you're not synced up on sites, so the other Slowbro can teleport next turn while you have the Lando in, and bring in Zapdos as you go back to Slowbro. And obviously you want to keep the item on Slowbro so you don't weaken your knockoffs. Okay. Threat of Sight was enough to keep the scenario preserved there, though. You do be dead to discharge after burn a little bit here. Clef comes in, yep. There is 2 Toxics left and 2 Aromatherapies left, so Giannis is in a very good situation PP-wise right now. I would say he's advantaged right now. 5 sights, 5 sights. Slowbro, slacks, wishes. Nice sickle, good work, man. Yeah, and as you guys can see, this Lando's just slowly coming further and further back. It's gonna be out of Scald range in like 3 more cycles. We might just see a slack off here. I could see it. That crit is so unlucky. Wait, this, 1 second. 90% on a crit? This Slowbro has some spadef. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can heal your guy now. And this is 4 Hurricanes left. Interesting. 8 protects left. Yeah, you have the same number of protects, but has just had opportunities. You can just go into Slowbro and do the same shit though. You might need to use up a slack off here. And once Zapdos uses that last Toxic, Landorus becomes so much more threatening. Probably gonna see a Wish here, because Wish timing works out well if it's healing you the same turn Future Sight hits. Yo, Sickle, thank you for the drink, water, and stretch, bro. Ugh. Oh shit. Let me move my position so I'm not doing the fucking cock cam again. I'm sorry. I realized what I was doing in a second. Like the second I was doing it. I listen. I just got to be more like cognizant of like how I'm like presenting myself to the camera. Oh, that's really good. Your Slowbro's back now. I'm sorry, bro. You know I didn't mean it. Alright. We're gonna see another TP here in the clef. Those TPs are nice because they do like low-key get you a discharge PP. You also have to watch out for wishes though. Like you have to go for it with Landorus soon. You did get a discharge PP with that protect. Wish comes out. You kind of had to Moonblast here, I think. I wouldn't hate a protect, but I think you kind of had to Moonblast. I understand it. Like if you don't Moonblast and get Hurricaned, I mean if you don't protect and get Hurricaned, it's so bad. But I don't know. I don't like the wish there. I think you're wasting wishes now. You want to keep them to negate future sight damage. This is going to scald every time. Oh my god. Wow, really? Okay. Back to Slowbro here for sure. This is doable as fuck for Giannis. No. Oh, burn comes out. Thought it was no burn. We're gonna see I imagine a teleport here. Future sight. Okay. Slowbro has 6 slacks left. You do not want to lose this thing here. But you also don't want to like go clef and get fucked up because you're 0 wishes on clef, so that thing's like dead. A slack is acceptable. Yeah, Zapdos kills the discharge now. You like can low-key just sack the clef here. And Zap has exactly 1 Toxic for the Lando as well. This is played very well by comp. Nice. You do take the sight, but I think it's fine. Wait, that is like Spadef as fuck. My god. Or bulky or something, yeah. I think you knock off here. Smackdown is acceptable though, because this spread is literally just trolling. Like it's some shit like this, like max HP, max speed, some shit like that. So it's dead as fuck to knock off here. I don't hate Roost, but yeah. This is tough. This is tough. I imagine we're just going to see a knockoff come out from Giannis, though. You don't really want to let that Slowbro do any more bullshit. Yeah. Makes sense. And now this is a big turn. This is what this game was kind of always going to come down to. So there's like a few things that can happen here. Giannis can smack down as a Zapdos clicks like Hurricane or switches to Torn. It can... Okay, Knockoff comes out here. Next one kills Torn and Zapdos and Slowbro. So one thing dies here. To knock off, like pretty much guaranteed. Well, no, Slowbro doesn't die. It just takes 1,000,000. Yeah, the other two. And we know this is Heat Wave as played, probably. Knockoff to get rid of the leftovers is a very valid play here. And Giannis recognizes that and goes Clef. Nice. This has one Aroma left. Ooh, okay. I see you, big dog. One sight on the Slowbro. 4 sights on this one. 0 Toxics on the Zap. You can Aroma that shit off now. That's definitely what the Clef's going for. You can TP out here. Try and get your Lando out of range. Sight comes out. Discharge does about 60%. Roost comes out on Scald. Burn? No burn. Interesting. Slowbro comes out. TP. Lando. Get your lefties. Same scenario. There's no more future sights on the Slowbro. It can only Scald. And you can't Aroma these burns off anymore if it does. Yeah, this is definitely not over. Yeah, I mean, these sites are kind of piling up now. Yeah, and he realized he just needs to get this back. No burn. Back to Lando. Sight in the air. You're out of range of Scald, I believe. You're always gonna kind of have to do some bullshit here. I don't know if you necessarily should be wasting these sights here, by the way. Alright. Game 1 is nearly over. Like, just looking at the PP, like, this is one sight left. Lando's nearly at full. This has 0 sights. This is 0 toxics. Like, eventually progress just has to be forced. This is 5 Scalds now. Ooh, TP out this time. Probably into Torn. I imagine the Torn is going to be annoying for Slowbro to repeatedly take hits from. You just Scald here to try and get a burn on it, though. Because you have 16, you can afford it. Oh, it's been Hurricane the whole time? What? Didn't he have a chance to kill something with Hurricane earlier? No, with Kane, like, he wins. For sure. That's game, bro. Damn. Is interesting. I mean, obviously, you're just gonna. That was a really nice hide on the Hurricanes, though. Slowbro comes out, Clef Moonblast. All it can do now. Slowbro in. On the Torn again. I think this is where we see the last sight used. It makes sense. Is he just gonna let it knock and like go for game here? He might have to. Slowbro back on U-turn as Zapdos comes in. But Landers is kind of free here, I think. Yeah, you definitely go Lando here. There's no other play. Let's see. Okay. That is really bad for comp, I want to say. If I'm Giannis, I'm just risking the Scald Burn against Slowbro at this stage. You're way too weak to Torn. Alright, here we go. I think this is the vital turn. Knockoff can crit. Scald cannot burn. Scald can burn. There's a lot of different ways this can go. SD again. Don't you knock there because of crit odds? Because you kill with a crit, bro. Boots knocked, Scald comes out. It's game. So this is going to be a really interesting last two games. I feel like cuz comp is just like a lot more accomplished in Gen 6 and 7 compared to yep, that's game for sure. You can just FF now, bro. Alright. Clean it up. And here's to 2 quick games because holy shit, that game took an hour. I'm definitely gonna have to. Oh man, that was crazy. One of the games of all time for sure, no doubt. Bro, people just be saying things. Nidoking did not 6-0. What happens is you click like flamethrower on like Torn switch, and then it clicks knockoff, and then it lives ice beam, then it U-turns, then it goes into Slowbro, and then you can't kill Slowbro, and then you're fucked. Alright. On to game 2. I imagine that Giannis will pick Gen 6. I feel like he's a little bit stronger in Gen 6, but obviously there's no, like, you know, like, hard definition for what he's gonna pick. Zapdos did go fucking crazy. Oh, Gen 7. Alright, cool. Interesting. I imagine one of Lele, Zam, or Hiram is HP Fire for Scizor, so it's not just like a catch-all for all of them. Heatran, Scizor, Hoopa into Psy Spam is kind of crazy though. So, looking at this matchup, I feel like Keldeo is a giga threat. Cause just looking at the team, right? What's your switching even? Like AV Magirna? Heatran's also really good. I think Comp has a really good matchup. Like 60-40. Yeah, I think like obviously Giannis does have like a bit of overload potential here with all of the like psychic types and cube and shit. Where it can like kind of culminate in like an end game with like Alakazam under psychic terrain or something. But the game he has to play like really well. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen this iteration of Psy Spam before. Lele lead into Landorus at a pretty good start for Giannis. You're going to obviously like this is a very tumultuous team to like click moves into. Heatran, Hoopa, Scizor, and obviously like if you click anything but a psychic move, like Lando can fuck you up. And to add like another layer of depth to it, Lando is like kind of useless in this matchup. The only real utility it has is blocking Volt Switch from Magirna. So, like, you could see some, like, stupid shit get clicked. And that Scarf Lando pretty much confirmed. You don't really see those, like, bulky, like, 0 EV, Lele, sorry, 0 speed EV Lele's. That's specs for sure. Holy shit. Hoopa's an option on a switch here. Scizor is an option. Heatran is an option. Stay in, probably not. I think Landorus is probably the safest double. Covers everything that you can conceivably see. outside of a stay-in, which would be kind of shitty, but you don't really want to like go into Magirna on like a Heatran Orlando. You could theoretically Celesteela here too, because Celesteela isn't that good and it covers 2 out of 3. Psyshock again as Lele Feeny stays in and Moonblast. That's really good. Now this is interesting. Next Psyshock still kills Feeny with the special attack drop, I'm like 90% sure. Let's set it to Timid. Just to be like... Yeah, that'll take it out. Scizor comes in on another Psyshock. Misty's up. You either go Lando to get your rocks or Steela and just Leech Seed something. You don't really want to get knocked off, so I think you're gonna see Lando here. Yeah. Rocks up on SD. You can see a few different things here. I imagine U-turn into Celesteela is the most likely. It's Papa Berry, so he knows it's not Z-move. Yeah. U-turn here is free. Low-key, if you're Specs HP Fire Lele, Lele is a shiest click there. Didn't do it. Okay, we see U-turn come out, and Steel just stays in and Leech Seeds. You go Keldeo. Oh, Earthquake! What the fuck? That makes sense, though. Yo, a sub CM is lefty, so it could be sub CM here. Yeah, it is AV because they didn't get lefties there. What the fuck? Yeah, that is not, could be Z-move, or Iapapa, or Custap, or Shucka. Magirna has a lot of item options. Yeah, just spamming T-Bolt into the sub-CM Keldeo makes sense. Yo, T-Bolt twice, and then click, Fluor Cannon. Facts are facts. Oh my god, that does so much. Goes back into AV Steela. You gotta be afraid of a flamethrower coming out here. Keldeo comes back in on Heavy Slam, and that's dead to the next, and it can sub, but like sub doesn't really do anything. The Steela is putting in work, man. Oh man, that Scald Burn is so lucky. That's really lucky. This dude's been going crazy with Scald. What is the heavy slam roll on Keldeo? Burned heavy slam. We did 17, so this can't be correct. Wait, this shit is like attack investment, bro. Yeah, it's like adamant or something. What the fuck? Yeah, dude, this has so much attack for no reason. I thought the damage on heavy slam was... Is that max? I think it's max, bro. Oh, he's got EQ, though. Yeah. So Keldeo's down. Dude, yeah, max attack AV is really cool. You can't even go Scizor because you're still afraid of the possibility of this being a flamethrower. Landorus comes in. It's for Brandon. Brandon Lee nickname is Fire. Lando in on U-turn. He wanted to deny the defog there. Scizor comes in. Bro, hard Lele here is shystickle, but I understand not doing it. I think he's just gonna sack the Steela though. Yeah. One second. Oh my god, crazy EQ. Holy shit, that's actually really big. Heatran's gone for nothing, basically. Dude, this has been an insane game. If this didn't get burned, this thing would have gone quintuple overtime. I don't think Giannis is flamethrower from how he's thinking. Scizor's gonna get like a free sword stance here. Ooh, I would have SD'd low key, but maybe I'm super greedy. Goes into Nala on Moonblast. Alright, so then that's not HP Fire. This is tough. I don't really feel like Giannis can beat Scizor at this point. Scizor is just disgusting. Unless it's HP Fire Mega Zam. That's his one out. Oh shit! It was Modest Twisted Spoon the whole time! Oh my god, dude, Giannis is the GOAT! That was crazy! Holy crap. Dude, the game just flipped on its head in one turn. That's insane. Alright. We do get the Intim off, but I can't imagine. HP Ice Hoopa? What the fuck? Alright. I imagine it's Z-move on Magirna and not Curum. The fact that it's special, like, at this point, Giannis is in, like, don't choke mode. Yeah, comp is losing, bro. Yeah, so the Lele was Modest Twisted Spoon and showed off HP Fire on the Scizor. And Oko'd it. It was insane. Yeah, I think comp loses this. And we go to game 3. Oh shit, it's offensive Trick Room Z Fairy, right? Yeah. GG. And it's Scarf Lando, so you just lose to Curum even if you kill this. GG. Alright, game 3. Mentally, right? This is so difficult to come back from, I feel like. Game 1, you really feel like you should have lost, and you had like a really strong winning position that you choked, and then you got lucky at the end. And then like the game 2, you had like a really strong matchup and like a strong position, and ended up choking it away. I mean, like, obviously, I don't know if, like, I don't know, is Tapu Fini spread or something, like, it's possible that there was overlapping roles with, like, Psyshock and with Specs versus Timid Specs versus Modest Twisted Spoon. But generally speaking, you can know what it is. And he should have known it wasn't Specs. I would say overall this set, Giannis has been much better. This last game is going to be crazy. I talked a little bit about the changes in Gen 6 recently. It's a lot more offensive than it used to be. Superior's at the top of the meta. Mega Metagross has really popped up the last couple of years. Those power-up punch sets, like power-up punch, bullet punch, thunder punch, and headbutt, really hard to switch into. Few other things. The second that did 33 to Keldeo with Heavy Slam, I knew something was off. I think the way Giannis played this was masterful. Even if he had Defog Lando, right? Like, he made it look like he was desperate, basically. Where he went into Lele, he Moonblasted the Fini switch to draw out the Scizor to lure it in. If you're Defog Lando and you Defog there, your odds of losing are, like, pretty high still because of how crazy Scizor is. right, can we get this game 3? I'm stoked, bro. The end of that game was electric. Yeah, he did need to bullet punch the Lele. I will say, that play is like fairly like. If you bullet punch the Lele there, you can just win the game on the spot almost. Because you force it out, it's dead to rocks, you know? You can set up on the Lando, you can set up on the Magirna, you can bullet punch the c0mp probably. I don't know. Great work setting that up from him. I imagine Comp is just taking a second to like recover from the mental damage he took that game. Dude, this game right here is why we fucking play Pokemon, man. This was amazing. Cool sets with like the AV Celesteela coming out, like the psychological aspect of the game, like setting up that trap with Lele. The whole game bluffing specs, and then right at the end showing that it was a modest Twisted Spoon. The positioning clinic, with like getting it in that position exactly, like forcing that like Magirna endgame, like really, really fun one to watch. It's crazy because going into the set, I was saying that Comp was playing better in Masters so far, but Giannis has been far and away the better player in this spread, in this set. One thing, a lot of people, this is kind of like a misnomer in competitive Pokemon. People always talk about how like modest choice specs, and modest type boosting item and timid choice specs have a lot of overlap in like their damage ranges. In competitive Pokemon, that's just not true. Those moves just don't tend to overlap that much. Like maybe like a couple here and there or something. I think you just bullet punch there with that information though. I don't know, let's, because like as Kate said, like if it's the Calc Feeny spread, sure. We don't know what Comp's Feeny was. Oh shit, game Gen 6 is up. Okay. Ooh, this is a cool game. Manectric is really bad here. Heatran, Latios, like it's really tough for it to like make progress quickly enough to make a difference in what is honestly a super offensive game. These teams are like kind of a blast from the past. Comp's team, I feel like the biggest threat might be Garchomp. It's just such an issue if it Swords Dance, which is a lot more likely for both Garchomps because of the Heatrans present. I do feel like Pharaoh helps with Pharaoh and Weavile help with Garchomp enough that it's not that big of a threat. Serp is not really an issue. Scizor can be a problem, but if you lose to Scizor with Heatran and Manectric, you probably misplay a little bit. Latios with double steel Weavile is not really a big thing. Rotom can be annoying, but is a little bit limited. I would say because of the presence of Pursuit on Comp's team, he has a little bit of matchup advantage here. being able to trap the Latios potentially, or the Serp or the Garchomp. Like, there's the Scizor and the Heatran and the Rotom, which are very good against Weavile naturally, but the other three are so bad against it that you can still get progress with Pursuit, or even just like knock off, force this to roost as you switch into Manectric, get some momentum. Heatran, same thing. You get what I'm saying. A Chain Chomp could be a big threat from comp as well, and I think that's usable on this type of build because nuking ground types with like Life Orb Draco Meteor is very helpful. I think both players have teams that are good enough to win, but if I had to pick solely based on matchup, I would favor comp. Let me, 1 second. Alright, guys. Let's get hype. Let's get hype, guys, for this finals. This is the real finals of the tournament, man. I always remember hearing this theme right before big games and then NBA playoffs, man. If Manectric can get a Lightning Rod boost off early, it could be a problem. Fairthorn in against Latios lead. Not exactly what you want to see as Giannis. And Pharaoh is relatively expendable in this matchup as well. So comp can just kind of like int it to get spikes a little bit. This is probably defog Latios. The team is way too weak to spikes without it. And Pharaoh gets spikes on like 3 different guys. No. It's fine. Let Sakuri say his crazy play. Knockoff is fine here too. I feel like Scizor is kind of unlikely. Draco comes out. That is specs out the dick ass. And the T-Wave comes out. Yep, okay, Latios is dead. And rocks up. Oh dear. Comp is in a really good spot all of a sudden. This series has been very up and down. So you really can't call anything for real. If this is Chain Chomp, I mean, Comp does not have a real switch into Mixed Garchomp at all. Who Draco's here? Draco is such an insane play. Draco? Oh man. That Heatran set's interesting now. Lottie comes out with, is that specs? I don't think you can definitively say. Manectric is gonna come in. This is a free Volt switch. A bullet punch is cheeky here, but very risky, obviously. I don't think that comp wants to immediately let you get a flash fire on Heatran, so I would low-key consider it. U-turn is epic. Yeah, sacking Latios is very fair. Now, Pharaoh used Stealth Rocks. We know Heatran and Garchomp are no rocks. Positioning wise, like Garchomp is kind of annoying, especially when it's in against Lottie, because Rotom is less of a safe switch. Scizor is afraid of fire moves until the set is revealed. Garchomp in. I think Garchomp was the correct switch. It did show lefties. Could be SD. Bro, if this is sub SD and it gets like sub on para here, it's nasty to deal with. Yeah, comp is so far ahead now. I mean, it's gonna sub if it has it and attack if it has it. Yeah, see? He's just gonna get a Dragon Claw off for chip as Leaf Storm comes out. This didn't get lefties, so it might be Helmet. Nope. Just bulky, maybe Chesto. Yo, J-Mesh! Thank you for the raid, bro. Let me switch to a different stream so I can get that raid alert. Thanks, bro. Alright, back to business. So we're watching Smogon Masters Semifinals, but this is basically the finals. These are the two best players remaining by a mile. Ooh, Balloon Heatran in. All of a sudden, Giannis is looking like a very like he's in a very threatening position. You might get a kill here. Because if you go into Garchomp on Magma Storm, like you probably lose your Chomp. Lottie on Magma? Oh, that's such a shitty miss, man. That's really shitty. Spec Surf comes out on the Switch too. That's rough. Magma Storm has missed so many times this series. Game's kind of over in a lot of ways. It's not just Latios that wins. Like, Manectric is looking more and more threatening as the game goes along. Now that like we've seen the Heatran set, Lottie's chipped and Para, Serp is chipped. It's really hard to see Comp losing from this position. Yeah, this is game 3. This is like watching like a Burmese python slowly choke its prey to death. I low-key just flame here. He's sacking. Oh, he went into Garchomp on the flame. This probably eats, right? It's a roll. That crit probably mattered. I don't think it was an HP ice range before the crit. Five seconds? Oh my god, wait. Oh wait, it's Giannis. I thought he was about to time out. Holy shit. Rock Tomb again? Nope. Latian. Oh, now this gets one, right? With Surf? Or nah, you just Draco. Because you get momentum every time the Scizor clicks Roost. Psychic, that works too. Yeah, Heatran is in on Psychic. This is... So it's gonna either kill the Latios or take something else here. So he's letting the Latios get trapped, but he does get the Spadef drop. That actually makes it die. Yeah, so now Heatran doesn't even beat this anymore. So you have to switch. Oh my god, dude. That's brutal. I think you Roost anyways. I think he has to switch because of Bullet Punch. I think you Roost. I think you Roost. I would. Damn. I lost. Okay. So Latios is down. Oh, also let me like low-key make the game a little bit bigger. Right, Bullet Punch comes out to trade against this. I think you kind of had to do that at this point. If this is Scarf Rotom Wash, this could be a huge threat in the endgame because Pharaoh's at 42. Garchomp can get smoked by Pump. This gets smoked by Pump. This gets smoked by Pump. A Scarf Rotom could go crazy. Pharaoh comes out on Pump. Takes 15. No lefties? I think it's Helmet then. You can go Serp here to deny the Leech Seed. And like click knock off HP Fire or whatever. It doesn't matter. This Rotom can win. This Rotom can definitely win. Comp is 5 seconds. Oh my god, this timer is so scary, dude. This could be Resto Chesto. This could be a few different things. Garchomp in on Weavile switch. Ooh, that was a good Weavile. Because it covers Rest really well. Into Heatran here on what will be Icicle Crash every time. Ooh, it's Life Orb. You never see Life Orb Weavile these days. It's almost always Choice Band, but you saw the benefit of being able to switch moves here. Rotom comes in. As we said before, this is probably Scarf. Which, at this point, Hydro Pump PP starts becoming a concern. I think you Volt Switch here. I understand the fear of a Garchomp switch, but you can't let fear determine your actions, you know? I think you Volt Switch here. Because hard Garchomp on Pump loses you the game. I don't think he ever Garchomps here. 5 seconds. Weavile dies to Hydro. Okay. Garchomp comes in. I think you just have to hit against this thing for a minute. You only really need one for Manectric. Oh, this is such a close game. You're just going to be spamming Pump against this Garchomp, though. There's not really any other play. Yeah, he needs to hit everything, man. He needs to hit everything. Oh shit, he went hard Chomp on SD? Oh my god! Wait. No, this is so good. Because what happens is that you force this to take helmet damage. And then you go into C0mp. Okay, I see the vision. Or he could be max speed Jolly Helmet too. That's another option. And he can get the Earthquake off. Oh my god, he was! Oh, that's huge! Yeah, because you can go C0mp, and then you can Glare. You Glare the Heatran, right? Oh, you Leaf Storm. Interesting. Okay. Glare on Para. Okay. Oh my god. This would be insane. Leaf Storm again? Shoot. Okay. He's just got to hit them all. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, wait, it missed? It missed. It's not over yet? No, that's game. Oh, what a disappointing ending, man. He really could have won it. That was a phenomenal series. Thank you so much for coming out to watch the series with me, guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and let me find someone that I can raid. Alright. Sickle is doing a Minecraft Soul Link. So go ahead and show him some love, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. This is a really fun series to watch. Super close, super contested. One of the best Pokemon series I've seen live.